Hello, this is Leanne Davis, doing my first live stream since the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who when I did Planet of the Spiders. Today, I've got something great to tell you about, but before I get stuck into that, I want to thank everyone for supporting my channel. I appreciate it very much. Uh, it's nice to know that people do like what you do on here. I try to sort of put a variety of stuff, give people something to come on here worth watching. I've been doing some good stuff on here, like going around Blackpool, doing live recordings. I've been putting Star Trek on, also Doctor Who, Only Fools and Horses. Some others do have them. Blake's Seven. I've got plans to put the X-Files on here very shortly as well, so keep an eye out for that. If you like what you see on my channel, hit the notification button for future videos, because I can assure you they will be on here very shortly. I'm in between TikTok, which I do a show on as well, and I do loads of videos on there as well as live shows as well. I'm also on Twitter, doing a live space on Doctor Who. I've just finished 3 parts of it. I'm on the final part of An Unearthly Child, and I'll be completing the final part tonight, roughly about probably when I've done this live stream. I'll get straight onto it. Also, I've got some other news to tell you. Basically, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. Basically, what I'm really trying to say is thank you for subscribing. If you want to join the channel, I've got a button there called subscribe. Please hit that button. I'd be really grateful, because you will be seeing a lot of stuff on here coming in a few weeks or whatever. It will be going on. So I thought I'd explain myself and explain what I'm going to be doing on here. I haven't been on Facebook for a long time, so I don't know how many members I've got to welcome in. I've got a lot of Doctor Who groups out there, Blake 7, Hammer Horror. So it's all out there. So it's up to you whether you want to join or not. I've got pages galore. I even create groups for other people, which are on there now, and they've done pretty well, but I'm not part of that anymore. I created it, I put the material on, and then I gave it to them, and so they're set up for life now on their groups. So that's what I do. I also I've been named creative. I don't know why Facebook will want to make me creative, because I don't really care for titles, but it's on my profile anyway, because Facebook says I'm a creative. So apparently I'm a creative, whatever that means. So anyway, also I've been doing a lot of water painting as well. I do a lot of art and stuff, so I thought I'd let you know on that. So anyway, what's the good news? The good news is I've finished my screenplay. It started off, I'll be honest with you, I had an idea. I put the idea on paper, and I decided what I was going to do was create a character. I've got it all down here, so I'll show you it. All right. So I'm not going to just talk about it. I created a character. I also basically did all the description, the direction of what these characters are, what they do. And, basically, it took me about probably a year to write it all in. It was a lot to do. I'm gonna read out some now. Here's a rough. Can you see that? There you go. Right, the title is called Vanachek, the Dark Hunter. The story is Peter Vanachek, a determined investigative reporter on the trail of zombies, vampires, and werewolves, ghosts, ancient human sacrifices, and even aliens. Join in the hunt with Vanachek as he uncovers the truth and takes you to the darkest alleys and places, to the bizarre and strange, to the downright terrifying in the lairs of London. So there you have it. That was just the basic outline. Right now, I've created. I wanted to do 24 stories. Right, I managed to finish 3 of them. It's going to take a long time, but I'll give you the gist of what the stories are. The Dark Lord is the one that I've completed. This is the one I've got typed out, professionally. I've done it. It's all done and everything. I'll show you that in a minute. But I'll just give you the titles of these. Right, the first one is The Dark Lord, which is a Ripper story, you know, Jack the Ripper story, a good old-fashioned Jack the Ripper story. The second one is Death Is Behind You. That's a zombie story. The third one is The Invisibilities, which is an alien story. The fourth one is The Night Hunter, which is a vampire story. The fifth one is Lycanthropy, which is a werewolf story. The next one is The Deal. It's a devil story with Satan. The next one is Sacrifices of Terror. This is an Aztec story, modern day Aztecs, basically sacrificing people who are brave. They need 5 hearts, but I won't go into the grisly details on that. Then I've got Demons in Disguise, which is basically a demon. It's about these demons pretending to be young, beautiful women, luring men into their trap and then sucking the life out of them. Well, I think you got the gist. The next one is a negative eater. This is an energy force that sucks the life out of people. The Stone Killer is a Gorgon story. Also, I've got The Mind Murders, which is a psychotic story. Terror at Night, a mythological creature story. Number 13 is The Fashion Killer, a witchcraft story. The Absorber is a dating agency story, which is a trapdoor for bringing in men that want to look for women, but they're actually the actual sacrifices to these absorbers who suck the life out of them. Sort of a familiar thing to one of my early stories. And then you've got The Doom Watcher. This one's going to be a supernatural story. The Silicates, which is a calcium creature that eats the bone marrow and everything else of a human being, but I won't go into that. The Actor of Deception is a person who's unbalanced. And of course, The Bloodline, which is a Nazi story. Moving on, I've got 6 more stories here that I haven't put any subtitle, but I've got I came up with the titles. They're called The Guard, The Unimaginable, From Within It Came, The Pen is Mighty, Words of Death, and The Final Confrontation. I haven't got the sort of subtext for those titles, but I will do. Don't worry. It's just I've been working on the other stuff. Right now, moving on. This is there's about 120 pages. I wonder if you can see that. I'm just going to show you it on there now. That is how many pages that this took to do. So it took me a year to complete it, just writing it out roughly. Right, so now I'm going to give you the actual typing because I completed it. Right, what turned out to be a story ended up being a bloody screenplay. I didn't mean it to be like that. So I'll give you an example, right? Here we go. Right, the cast of characters. Can you see that? The cast of characters. I'll just get it in the light so you can just about make it out. Yeah, there you go. The cast of characters, right? The first one is Peter Vanachek. He's a reporter who wears a hat, an old hat, and an old 1980s suit in the color blue with a kipper tie and sneakers. That's the description of these characters, right? The next one is Anton Stavros. He's the editor, his boss, you could say. He's wears a crisp suit, small in stature, dark hair. Jim Ty is another colleague of Vanachek's. He's a financial columnist at the same paper as Vanachek. Small, round face, easily scared, but a bit of a worm. You know what I mean by that? You know, a little crafty little sod that are sort of sneaking behind you or looking for a story himself. He's that type of character. I've got Steve downstairs in the editing room. That's the guy that develops the films that are when you know, like when you have to go into the dark room, they call it, and then you put the photos in this solution, and obviously develops it. He works down there. He's a film developer and printer. And then you've got John Allen, who's a detective in this adventure. Also, I've got Samantha Collins, a rival journalist, always first with the story. Also, Stella, an undercover policewoman, blonde hair. The Ripper himself is a blackguard, dark beard, a moustache, looks not of his period. It doesn't look like he belongs there because he's dressed up in a top hat, dark clothes, wears a cape, has a cane, with the devil on it. So I think you get the picture of what this character is. Also, I've got Miss Jane, who she does a column, which unfortunately Vanachek, I had posing as a policeman in this, so he could get a good story. So he arrested everybody until he got sussed out he's a reporter, and he got, shall I say, kicked out of the paper that he worked for. So he's gone to work for this one because he'll do anything for a story, but he also investigate where the police refuse to go. You know, like in the darkest shadows, he'll go there. Don't you worry, and he will unravel the truth. So anyway, that's the outline. Right now, the scene setting, as you can see, if you can see that, can you see that? No, you can't. I think you can see that just thinly there. Act 1. There you go. I'll read it out to you because it's not easy to. I think I can do that. This is what I typed. I typed all this. There you go. You can see it. I typed it all out. So that took a hell of a lot to do. I'm telling you, I can assure you, it took a hell of a lot to do. But you needed to be careful because you need to get the narratives right. And I had to also explain what's going on. I had to do what you call settings. I had to do everything. So here we go. The setting is the scene opens with a view of Big Ben and the city around it. So that's the start. Vanachek is sat on a train looking out of the window. He holds a tape recorder in one hand and he says this: if by chance you happen to be in the metropolis of London between May the 15th and June the 16th of this year, you would have had a very good reason to be terrified. During this period, London was being stalked by a horror so frightening, so fascinating, it ranks within the great mysteries of all time. It's been the fictional subject of novels, plays, films, and even an opera. Now, here are the true facts. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you like it? This is just my first story. The second one I've got to type out. I'll show you that now. But like I said, it's a lot of scripts. I've got the dialogue for the characters. It's all there. I can't play these characters I possess because I'm not a professional, but I just like writing them. But it's all been written down. I might do something like this if I can get well, on a live stream. I might get some people together and send them some scripts, and then we can all sort of play a part. I mean, so they can be a character, and it's like a radio play in a way, isn't it? But anyway, but I was going to send this off, probably not to the BBC, to a company, an independent company, because there's plenty of them. It's not just one corporation that runs everything, you know. And you can send this out. Or I was going to get it novelized, but I thought novelization would have been a little bit too far, considering so many people writing books and everyone wants to be a novelist, you know. So that wasn't for me. We've all got a novel in them, and this is mine. So anyway, so that is the actual gist of what I'm doing on here. The cast of characters, the direction of the episode. I'll give you an idea of the plot, right? This man has been killing all over the world. It's not just in London, he's been all over. And the one thing he's scared of is electrocution. You cannot kill him, but the one thing he is scared of is electrocution. They tried to shoot him in Germany, but they failed. He didn't die. They tried to hang him in, I think it was Vladivostok in Russia, and they couldn't hang him. He's still alive, and he got away. Obviously, he's got the strength of about 100 men. So this person or thing or whatever you want to call him is going around dissembling young women. They not necessarily have to be prostitutes. They have to be someone like go-go dancers and stuff like that. But he stalks them and he goes to all these places. But he stands out. That's why you know he looks odd. He lives in a mansion that's been derelict for a long, long time. And he basically lives there. But I'm just going to give you a clue. Vanachek finds out where he lives and he hides in the mansion and waits for him. He sees two shoes underneath the curtains and he pulls them aside because he's anticipating something horrible is going to happen. Opens the curtains and there's nothing. It's just two shoes there. And then he hears the whistle of the kettle, and then suddenly he hears the door go, and then he hides. Right, I'm not going to give you any more of that, right? So I'll let you use your own imagination. Let the audience decide. But other adventures that I've completed here is called this is the one that I have got to type next. This one is called Death It's Behind You. This one is a zombie story. This is I'll give you an idea. This is about a woman who wants revenge for her son that was taken out by the mafia because he was into the gambling racket and stuff like that, and he was a rival. So they shot him dead, but he didn't get the guy that shot him, who gave the contract, did not get the okay from the boss at the top. So this zombie is being used to sort of as a weapon to kill everyone that was involved in his murder. I think you get the gist. It's quite harrowing. What he does is he picks them up and he snaps their spine, just throws them like a rubber, sort of. You could say a dolly. They just fly over there and that's it. They're gone. But he snaps their vertebrae by picking them up and. Right, so that's that one. The other one is the invisibilities. This is about an alien spacecraft that crashes and it's stealth, so you can't see the spaceship. And this creature is whatever it is actually an alien that's invisible, because remember, there are only certain spectrums of light you can see with your eye. You can't detect certain spectrums of light. This alien is in that spectrum. You cannot see him, but you know he's there. And when he comes near you, I think he ionizes you, so you don't want to get too close to him. He's after parts for his ship so he can mend it to get back to wherever he's going, because he obviously got lost and crashed. So he needs the radio parts or from electrical shops, and he goes into the Ministry of Defence where they store these secret parts, and he has. So he's basically, I think you get the gist. That's what he's after. He's after parts to mend his ship to get out of there. The other one, it would be a vampire story. I wanted to make my vampire younger. Starts off old, and then every time drinks blood, gets younger. That is what I really want my story to be, because that is basically what a vampire is. In Bram Stoker's version, he wrote his character to get younger every time. He was old, and then he drank the blood, and he became younger. In the Hammer horror version, it's the other way around. Christopher Lee didn't like doing it. He wanted to keep to the actual Bram Stoker version, but Hammer wanted to do it their way. Obviously, they got 7 vampire stories out of it, but I think Christopher Lee got sick and tired of doing it, because all they're doing were reeling him out, and I think he had enough. But anyway, never mind all that. But my vampire is basically I think Interview with a Vampire is quite good. That with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, I think that was pretty good. So anyway, that is what the sorry, just give me a second. Can't find anything I want. The Invisibles. Here it is. Here we are. So I'm just going to go run through this. The Night Hunter is the vampire story I just said. The next one is Lycanthropy. This is a werewolf story. This is a man who was attacked. He worked for NATO in, I think it was Greenland, and he got attacked along with 4 of his other colleagues, and they got completely shredded to death. Nothing left of him. Only he survived, and he's got this bandage around his arm, and it keeps bleeding. So he's obviously got the it's been passed on to him, because he managed to kill the werewolf. But I mean, I thought The American Werewolf in London was a bloody good story, a bloody good film as well. Same gist. I didn't copy it, I promise you. I didn't. So I took some ideas from it, but I thought I'd add it into this. I thought there was some great scenes in there that were worth exploring, and I did, and I enjoyed every moment of it. So that's what the Lycanthropy story is. The deal is a person who is a politician going nowhere, and he basically does a deal with the devil. So he rises to the top. But the person that stops him is Vanachek, the reporter, because he does investigative journalism. Uh, and he has this chain round his neck, a bit like what I've got round mine. You can see that. I'll just show you quickly. There you go. There you are. But something like that. It gave me an idea that that is his power. If he loses that, or it touches water and it dissolves, he loses his power, and he's now Satan's soul. He's a politician that wanted to be sort of powerful, and he did a deal with the devil. So that's what that story's about. The next one is Sacrifices of Terror. This one's a bit more gruesome. I'll tell you why. It's about Mexican hoteliers who have hotels all over the world. And what they do is they are looking for sacrifices. The staff are involved and everything. And certain hotels, like brave people, like policemen, soldiers, anybody that are brave, if you ever look at the history of the Aztecs, they pinned them down on a stone, and then you had the chief, shall I say, the head butcher, cut their heart out, and that's exactly what this is. And basically, that's what I did. I wanted to sort of keep it in the sort of theme of it, not sort of get carried away and sort of live in a fantasy world that doesn't exist. I wanted to sort of keep it as real as possible, sort of base it with facts, but also sort of make it interesting as well, because that's what good storytelling is. You know what I mean? So that's Sacrifices of Terror. Demons in Disguise. Oh, this is a good one. I haven't written it yet. I haven't written the other one either, but I've got the idea for it. It's simple. It's a nice, simple idea. It's about a creature that can manifest herself into a young, beautiful woman. She basically entices young men into a car, and she sucks the life. When they kiss, that's when she starts taking his take everything away from him, his face, his everything, and there's just a skeleton left. She gets out the car and she's replenished, and before he dies, he sees the face of this demon kissing him. So I think he got the gist. Right, so I haven't really thought that one through, but it's going to be a good one, I can assure you. The other one is a negative eater. We all heard about negative energies and stuff. They're around us. We got atoms all around us, the molecules and stuff like that. And it gave me an idea for a story about energy. What happens if energy can think for itself and can actually become a form, can actually take form? That you can't see it, but it's there. Like The Entity. Remember the film The Entity? That was pretty good. I got the idea from that, actually. That's what forced me to sort of say, right, I want to write a story about that. And that's what that basically is. It's about an evil entity, not a good one, an evil one. And it basically wants to... I'd like to thank the chat. Before I carry on, I've got to look at this. I mean, there's a lot of people here. I've got to read them out. Here we go. I think I'll go down the list a bit. Give me a few seconds. I want to try and get everybody here. I can't see all of them. Let's have a look. Oh, I see. Luke's asked a question there. What year is it set? Well, modern day, right? Modern day. I mean, it depends on your point of view what modern day is. I mean, 10 years ago, 10 years in the future. It doesn't. It's just to give you an idea, you know. You could do the same thing if you decided to write your own stuff. You could put the setting in modern day England or modern day America, but it doesn't mean you have to give a precise year, because what is the point of that? Let the audience decide, you know, not me. I will not make the mind up. I will not think for the audience. I want the audience to do the thinking on this one. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. What years it's set in? It's not a particular. It's only fiction. It's not real. You know, I'm not. It's not the X-Files. You know what I mean? But thank you for your question, Luke. What else is there? Thank you, SK. That's a great concept. Thank you very much. Luke says, okay. Thank you. Thank you as well. Thank you, Luke. That's very kind of you. So anyway, I'll just get on with some more of this before I talk about something else. I've got the where was I up to? Oh yeah, right. I've got the Stone Killer. This is a person who's actually a Gorgon disguised as a Gorgon, because it obviously can manifest itself. But if you look at the Gorgon's face, you turn to stone because there's something in those snake heads. I remember watching Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee years ago in the Hammer Horror, The Gorgon. It was brilliant. Tension build up and the a big sword fight at the end of it. But it was great. And once perpetuation has taken place, that is it. There's no reversal. I mean, if you saw the Sarah Jane Adventures, they did a Gorgon story in there, but they found but Russell T Davies wrote it in a way that it could be reversed, but not in my one. Once you see the Gorgon, that's it. You've had it. You're a stone. You're a statue. And this is the only way you can defeat one is if you're showing its reflection. Obviously, it cannot see itself. If it sees itself, it will turn to stone itself and become a statue itself. But I'm not going to give away the plot on that, all right? Because I think you know where I'm going with that one. The Mind Murders is a psychic story. It's about a person who's got telepathic powers but doesn't know it, and can see into the future. Basically, helping the police with serial killer that's out there that's been caught for 30 years and he's still going strong. And this psychic can read where he is, who he is, and even describe where his next victim will be, you know, that sort of thing. And they need his help. You've probably seen his stuff in like the X-Files. I must admit, I'd be a liar if I said I didn't get some influence from the X-Files, because I watched some of the stories. I did think there was some over the top, but there was some bloody good ones there. The ones that were over the top, I decided to look at it in a more serious way so I could sort of write it, but sort of not copy it, but sort of keep it in the same sort of balance. Same sort of traditional way it was meant to be written, but not in a comical way, because there's a lot of comical stuff. Remember Burt Reynolds in it? Yeah, I couldn't take that one seriously. So anyway, we've got another one here. Yeah, the Terror at Night. Terror at Night is about a creature and from mythology that's actually real. It manifests as, you know, like if you if you got someone, you know, this creature will go into your mind and pick that image out, and you think you're actually speaking to the person that you haven't seen for years or you thought was dead, but suddenly as soon as you get too close, then you see it. It's a great big hairy thing with big teeth and it consumes you, so there's nothing left of you. So that's a sort of good story. I like that. That's the sort of thing I like, you know, smoke and mirrors. Uh, the next one is The Fashion Killer. This is all set in a fashion shoot in the fashion world. And a woman who's trying to get to the top, she's actually a witch. And she tries to knock out her rivals. One gets stuck in a shower and she gets burned to death. Another one has her eyes scratched out by a cat. So you can see where this is going, can't you? And also Vanachek tracks her and he calls her out as a witch in front of witnesses, and then I'm giving the plot away. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'll wait till I write it first. All right. Anyway, the next one is The Absorber. This is a person that needs body parts, you know, like it has to absorb your energy, but it needs liver, it needs your kidneys, because it's some properties that it has that it needs to survive. It's been living for hundreds of years and manifests as a human, but it's not human. If it doesn't get what it wants, it will die, you know, so it has to keep killing to survive. That's The Absorber. It's a simplified story. You've seen many of those stories in many other series and wherever you watched it. My favourite was the X-Files episode called Squeeze and Tombs, about that creepy little guy that goes round. Well, it's a predator, really. What is he? We don't know. And where did he come from? That was never explained, was it? But he's been living for hundreds of years, and he lived at this mansion and killed somebody. And there was no way of entry apart from this little gap. So he could obviously stretch his body like that and stretch his arm out, and he could do to fit wherever he needed to be. So that was a great story. I thought that gave me the creeps actually. I was always, when I turned the lights out, I thought, bloody hell, what's that noise? I thought a screw was coming out the roof or something. He must have crept in. But yeah, brilliant. I think Doug Hutchinson played that part. Fantastic. He is a creepy guy anyway. Full stop. But yeah, it was a brilliant one. And Tombs, that was great as well. They're my best episodes from that. So anyway, moving on, we got the Doom Watcher. This is a supernatural story. He watches over people. You can't see him, but he watches over people, and he leaves messages. You know, like he draws messages onto furniture. Say, "You're going to die. Do not go through that door." But they do go through that door, unfortunately. They die, but he warns them. It's almost as if he can see what's going to happen to them. I know it's a bit complicated, but when I write it down, you'll understand it. But that's called the Doom Watcher. The silicates are creatures that suck on people's bone marrow. They're creatures, you can't see them, they're invisible, but the only way to see them is light, because they hide in the dark. You hear their noise. It's a spine tingling noise, and you know when they're close, and they get close, that's it. You can't get away. It's like they're magnetized to the floor, and you're trying to run dear life to get away, but you can't. And then when they get you, you hear this person. As we know, actors have personalities; they can play any part. But what happens if one actor actually lives that part and goes around thinking he's probably Jack the Ripper or the Boston Strangler, that sort of thing? And that is the idea I had, because remember, it's a mental thing. An actor has to go through a hell of a lot to get the part. Like if he has to starve himself a week to be thin for this part, he has to do it. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want to do all that, go through all that. But that is what they do, That's why they get so much money. So anyway, I had a good idea about that. A lot of them are bloody insane anyway, as you know. The Bloodline is a Nazi story. Now, the Nazi story, in my opinion, could be related to many things, but this is basically someone who's related to Hitler. A child, and he's been passed down. A woman who had an affair with him when he was leader or whatever, but he had the bloodline in him, and he starts creating his own Nazi army. And they have these meetings, and Vanachek discovers this secret meeting, and he goes to one of them as a supporter, and he unravels the whole front because politicians are involved. It's like a takeover. I haven't put the setting. I would have thought it would have been easier to say America, but no. I'd probably set it in England, because England's a nice, quiet little country. You wouldn't expect anything horrifying to happen, would you? So anyway, that's the Bloodline. The next one I haven't got any titles for, but I managed to get I haven't got the subtext for, but the titles that are called are The Guard, The Unimaginable, From Within It Came, The Pen is Mightier. Well, the pen is mightier than the sword, which is more dangerous. Words of Death. So I'll give you an idea of that one, because that came up really, really good. The words of death is certain words you can say that can destroy somebody. As you know, the pen is mightier than the sword, but words are even more powerful. As you know, you can destroy someone with a couple of words that can basically unhinge somebody, make them angry, that sort of thing. But these words can spark off something inside them that can sort of make them commit suicide and whatever. But anyway, I thought it was a good idea. I had to do something like that. And my other one is A Final Confrontation. I don't know. I thought the best way to look at this one, a confrontation between the inner side of Vanachek and confronting his demons. Also realizing there's a lot of political intrigue. I thought I'd add political intrigue into this story, so he knows that it's a sort of conspiracy going on. But I just couldn't really get the best way to do it, but I will do. I will do. But the confrontation for me is a pretty good one. This is the end of the whole series. But unfortunately, as I said, it's turned into a bloody screenplay because I put action, you know, like he walks up the stairs. Suddenly he hears a sound from upstairs. The door starts to creak, and within it, hears the whistling sound of, you know, you got the idea. So anyway, that is what I've completed. It was my sixth resolution. I did add that. I've already achieved the first one, Twitter getting 1,000 followers. I achieved Instagram on my second resolution, getting a let's see now, getting 1,000 followers. Also on TikTok, I managed to get 2,400. My target there was 2,000, so I well reached that point. Also, I've started Threads. I've got about nearly 150 followers on there, which is good. I only started it. I've put a little bit of material. And what else is there? Instagram, TikTok, of course, YouTube. That was another resolution. I said I wanted to get 300 subscribers. I got it. So I'm over 300 now. So if you're watching this for the first time, please hit that notification button for future videos, and please subscribe to my channel, because everybody counts for me. Everybody, you're like gold dust, seriously, because without you, I've got nothing. You know, I might as well talk to the brick, to the bloody brick wall. You know what I mean? So anyway, I really appreciate it. I really do. I promise you, I don't sort of ignore people. I do get in contact with them in comments. I won't sort of become a Mr. Big Head, you know, because I've got so many. I don't have to bother. I can pick and choose policy crap. That's not me. That is not me. Okay, I want you to understand that. I am a person that will communicate with you. If you've got a question to ask me, I will get on my YouTube studio and find out who said it, and then I'll sort of reply to it. I always do. Nobody will say that I haven't. I will never sort of ignore you or anything like that. That is what I do, because it's important to get good feedback to understand where you're going wrong and when you can go right. You know, that is what I want to do. So anyway, I'll be pleased about that. If you do, please subscribe, please. Anyway, moving away from that garbage, talking about myself. Basically now I'm doing live space on Twitter. It's about Doctor Who. Yeah, I'm on my fourth part of An Unearthly Child. What I do is I play Doctor Who, the fourth part, but unfortunately you can't see it. So I will describe it like I've done on the other three ones. What's going on? I mean, if you've seen the episodes, you'll know what's going on anyway. But it's always good to narrate. So if it goes quiet, it's just music. I'll just explain. I'll fill those gaps in. I'll be doing it later, roughly, because I've been on here quite a bit. I'll be doing it roughly later, about 11:15, to finish off the fourth one. I'm trying to go through all the Doctor Who's, right? It's not just that one. I think I'll do the Daleks next, and then I'll move on to the third one. I forgot which one that is. It doesn't matter. And then I'll try and do as many as I can, doing all the eras from William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, John Pertwee, Tom Baker, Colin Baker, Peter Davison, and of course Sylvester McCoy from the classics, and then Paul McGann as well. So I'm hoping to do that. On TikTok, I'm doing plenty of videos on there. I basically, let me see, I've been doing Star Trek, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. What else have I been doing on there? Only Fools and Horses. Some others do have them. Tom and Jerry, yeah, I do cartoons on there. It's fantastic. So if you like cartoons, get onto TikTok and look me out. You'll like it. What else have I been doing? Sport as well. Plenty of sport on there. Here on YouTube, I've been doing quite a lot of stuff. I've been doing recording live, so I'm out and about recording live on short videos. I could do a recorded live on a long video, which means that I'll record it and then bring it back here and then load it up on here. What else do I do on there? Oh yeah, I do boxing tips. I used to box myself, so I've got to the point where I've shown you how to make a fist, how to jab. Also, the one I'm going to show you next is the hook. you know, the hook, the left and right hook. That will be on my video very shortly. So keep an eye out for that. I've done 3 boxing tip videos, so keep an eye out for the 4th one when it comes out very shortly. I've already added, let's see, Star Trek and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. I will be doing some more videos, so keep an eye out for that very shortly. I will do some more, but on different ones, not the same thing, other things. I wanted to do the X-Files. I think there'd be trailers. I can't get away with too much because YouTube's copyright act. You know what I mean? I would do music, but unfortunately, music is copyright. Usually, how I use the music is from YouTube itself, so I can't be done. If I do something and it doesn't need and it needs music with it, then I'll use the YouTube thing and put it on here. So basically, that's what I do. Videos. Like I said, I'm not a creative, right? It was just a title given to me by Facebook. It's on my profile. I'm not bothered. You can call me complete arsehole. I don't care. But like I said, titles and accolades don't mean anything to me. The most important thing that means something to me is if you enjoy it. That's the most important thing that matters to me. I get more out of that than being adulated with bloody accolades or being given good references and off other people saying you're good, he's brilliant, he's fantastic. It's usually the opposite with me. He's crap, he's useless, he's rubbish. I could understand. So anyway, I don't know if there's any more I could say, but like I said, I've just I will be off to Twitter to do my live space very shortly. I'll be off to TikTok to do some more videos. I'll come back on here on my channel to do some videos as well. So keep an eye out for that. So once again, I'll just say, if you like future videos, hit the notification button. If you like to subscribe to this channel, hit the button below. All right, I really will appreciate that. I'd like to thank everybody on the comments that have come on here. I really appreciate that. There's quite a few people. I do apologise if I didn't get round to you. I didn't ignore you. It's just I wanted to get through a lot of stuff today. But I appreciate the time you've given to type out what you wanted to put and what you wanted to say and what you feel from the heart and what you disagree with what I'm saying. That's fine. That is what democracy is all about. Freedom of speech. I don't mind it. Like I said, that's how you learn feedback from other people, whether you're going the right way or the wrong way. You know, so anyway, there's nothing more for me to say. And I thank you for the person watching me because I appreciate that as well. Anyway, thank you. That is it. I'm out of here. I think I've been going for about half an hour. I think that's more than enough. Don't you agree? I wanted to do some more before I go. I wanted to say that I wanted to do some more Doctor Who watch-alongs on here, but I haven't had time to do them. You know, I managed to do Planet of the Spiders. That was a fantastic one. And also, I wanted to do Tom Baker here as well. I wanted to do some ventures that I like, probably you like. I also wanted to do Blake 7 watch along because there's plenty of stories. I wanted to do the X-Files. I wanted to do Star Trek. I wanted to do them all. I've got another DVD set up and I could watch that DVD and then explain to you what's happening. So that's what a watch along's for. And obviously your comments are so valuable to me. I would enjoy it. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's it. There's nothing more to be said. Just have a quick drag of this. But I appreciate you popping along, giving your valuable time to watch me. So this is Lee Anthony Davis saying thank you very much and bye for now.